Right, in this video, just a little example of a house which you're told to go and shoot, but it's not totally ready. So here we come in, the placement of furniture, not thinking they are meant to go there. Broken blinds in the cupboards, not probably what the owner wants. Furniture not really in a position. Is there lights in here? Okay, light works, yeah, but not quite looking like it's been cleaned or tidy. Bath looks fine. Crap been left behind. Hallway light not working. Living room, brand new sofa. Sofa looks good. This light not working. Ground got some interesting stains to come up. Let's see, a dead plant. We've got somebody's had their cleaning gloves out, their marigolds, bottles, broken stuff, mop out, don't know what that stuff is, cups and all that kind of stuff. So, the question is, what do you do? What do you do as the property photographer when you come in and the place isn't quite ready? Well, it really depends on the clients that you've got and what their expectations are and what you've developed in your contract with them as well. So in other words, if your contract is like, hey, I'll shoot it and I'll tidy it up and all that stuff, fair dues. What I would say is charge for that kind of stuff. Just getting this place ready will be an additional hour to get this sorted. And again, it may be the case that you spend all this time getting it ready and the owner's kind of going, oh, I didn't know you were getting a professional photographer in. I would have cleaned it up, we would have tidied it up. Or hold on, there was cleaners that were meant to have done that. Why am I being charged by the photographer? This should have been done by the cleaners and it's not set out the way that I was expecting it. So it may be the case that the owner doesn't know, that the agents that you're working with, they may think that it's already been cleaned up and tidied and in a position. And so there's so many factors to factor. So so many things to break in. But here in this one, it's a case of, for me, in my contract, I don't do tidying up. I do as little touching of anything in a property as I can. I really try to make it so that I'm there to make sure the lighting's right, which again, it can be difficult when you've got lamps and lights which just don't work. I'm here to make sure that the composition is right, the lighting, the exposure is right, the white balance is right, the light fill is good enough, that we show as much information in each image that we've got. So here we show you the kitchen, the dining area, the entrance into the hall, down there and all that kind of stuff. That's my job. Moving furniture, again, is something I would advise. Don't do anything unless you definitely know how to do it. So I could move this completely broken set of drawers. Where do I move it? Do I move it so it's in the shot? Out of the shot? Do people want to see that there's completely broken drawers in here? I don't think I do. The next one is, you don't want to move something. Let's say it's heavy. You have to drag it somewhere and you end up causing a scratch on the floor, and the owner's like, that's a special type of flooring. Blinds, got light working in here. Blinds and stuff. No, leave that to handyman. Next one. Dirty window. Can't even see out these windows. So what this can do is it can actually work in your favour. If you're doing property photography for different agents, on your contract, you can have, you can make it so you stipulate that you have a call-out charge. So if you go out to a place and it's not ready, you're still charging for going out and advising the agents or the owners the condition of the property. Or it may be the case of, you'll go out and you say, I'm shooting it exactly how it is, and you're getting the full charge, but you'll need me to come back out again. And it's not so much a way for you to make money, but it's a way for the agents or your clients to make sure that they're not messing you around, sending you to building after building after flat, which is not in condition, and expect you to go back out again once it's been readied or all that kind of stuff. And it just kind of puts the emphasis on your client to make sure that the place is as ready as possible for you before you even arrive at the property. The worst thing you do is you go along, you shoot it all, and then the owner calls up and says, "Oh, your photo's looking really good, but I was going to change the sofa and the cushions are the wrong size. Can we get them to shoot it again?" Well, hold on. Yes, sure, there's another £70 that you're charging for that one. You know, driving out, your petrol, your parking, your hour's worth of shooting again, your half hour worth of editing. So, you know, you're talking a good £70 for a simple flat like this. And that's if it's easy. But, you know, boiler, if you go and ask somebody to fix a boiler, you get a call-out charge. If you get a plumber to come out and check some plumbing, you get a call-out charge. If you go to a lawyer and ask them for advice on something, you get a charge. So if companies are expecting you to go out and get into properties and deal with keys, picking up keys, dropping off keys, finding alarm codes, getting into properties, searching the position of the sun during different times of the day, so when it'd be best to shoot the externals, and then you get there and it's not ready and you think you're going to do all that for free, that's not what I would advise. That's why I say definitely if you're going to work for any companies, or if you're doing it on a freelance basis, definitely have some form of contract made up that stipulates when you go into places which are clearly not being made up for you as a photographer coming in, that you're not losing out on what could be about maybe a third of a day's worth of your time, you know, and sometimes that's what you want to do. You want to mark out each property shoot as a third of a day, and if you go there and it's not ready, that's still, you can't add in a new property because you've spent all the time organising and getting there and all that kind of stuff. So definitely something like this. For me just now, I'm calling up the agent saying it's not ready. I'm taking evidential photos. I think that's probably not the right word, but just photos of just showing here's the condition of the property, and there'll be a good couple paragraphs worth of stuff saying this is what needs to be done, this is what rooms need to be done, this is what lights aren't working. So not only are you giving a photography service, you're also giving your clients an advisory service of going, what's ready, what's not ready, what is up to condition, what's not good enough condition, and for marketing the property, how you think you would advise to make the property look as best as possible. So here I'll be saying, let's get some non-dead plants, maybe some flowers, maybe a fruit bowl, maybe take away the antibacterial Super Duck and Lenore off of there, maybe clean the floor, take away the buckets, take away the stains off the floor, fix the light up here. There's a hole in the wall. I don't know whether that should be a thing that should Photoshop out or not. That's something that I would request. The owner, again, loves to say, can you just get somebody to take away all the wires? Again, something which I myself wouldn't be comfortable doing in case, well, I'm not an electrician or a TV expert or anything like that, and I don't want to be pulling stuff out that goes along there. Another light not working, bathroom. There's just stuff being kicked around on the floor just now. Count the lights! 1 out of 4 lights working in here. Sealant seems to be okay. But yeah, it ends up being a fairly substantial email. So again, that's something you've got to factor in for your call-out charge, your call-out costs. And it can be something you just do on your phone. Like I'm just going to sit down with my iPad and fill out an email here, and I just take photos with my iPad of this and just say what needs to be done, because they'll have to send on that information onto either their maintenance men, their cleaners, or maybe it's straight to the landlord for the landlord to do himself, so he understands what's required of him as well. But yeah, when you get a property like this, it's not a case of just close the door and walk out. It's a case of figure out what's wrong, let the people know, charge them for your time of going out, organising everything, and your advice, and then make sure that they get you out again once it's ready. So yeah, even when it's a failed shoot, you've still got work to do and you've still got money to make.